All right, today is a bit of a special day for us here at Gadget Conquest. Today, we are doing our first sponsored video. So let's get to it. All right, everybody, welcome back to Gadget Conquest, and we did it, I guess. First sponsored video, pretty cool. There's no direction, so I'm just gonna be doing an unboxing and a quick review, and we'll see how it goes, right? So this video is sponsored by FIFINE. I don't know if you can read that. I'll punch in on it. I don't know if that's exactly FIFINE. I don't know exactly how to pronounce that. We're gonna go with FIFINE because that's the one that I like the most. And they sent me a USB condenser microphone kit. The T683, I believe, is the exact model number. Actually, it's right here. Yeah, T683 is the model number of this kit. It is a microphone, a arm, and also a pop filter, along with the cable, obviously, that you would need to connect the microphone to a computer. So let's open it. Let's see what the unboxing experience is like, and then we'll open up the laptop and do a recording and see how it sounds. You know, let's see how. This is exactly how the box was when I opened the packaging. So it does not look like there is anything sealing the box. It just opens, which is fine. It came in a sealed package anyway, so it's not like this needed to be sealed. Then we have, right up on the top, we have this little, looks like a thank you card with how to reach out on Facebook and email, and how to get a 2-year warranty upgrade if you register for their site. So that's pretty cool. Then we have a user's guide here. This is a little bit more in depth than a quick start guide, but I would say it's still short enough to be technically a quick start guide, I would say, because there's only 9 pages on the front and then an extra 9 on the back. And a lot of these steps you can honestly just ignore. A lot of these are like setting it up in Windows, getting the correct settings, and some of these are setting up in Mac, getting the correct settings. We're going to be using Linux, so none of the steps past step 7 apply to us, which is honestly pretty great. So let's just ignore all of this stuff for now, and we will get into it in a minute. Let's put this to the side. We have this soft foam padding, just a top layer, just garbage. What's this? This is a accessory kit. So it looks like it has some, it has backup rubber strings for the shock mount. So it does come with a shock mount. Here it is. So we have a shock mount here and it has some backup rubber strings for the shock mount. That's really cool. And then it also has the metal ring for attaching the microphone to the shock mount. All right, so we will need that, and we'll just get that out for now. And actually, you know what? We're gonna need that metal ring anyway, so let's go ahead and grab it and put it off to the side for now. So far, build quality is pretty nice. We'll see how the rest of it is though. Here is, let's go with this one. Here is the mount for the desk. So this is the desk mount. Yeah, the mount for the desk is the desk mount. Did you know that? This is the desk mount, pretty standard desk mount. You'll see this on a lot of cheaper USB microphones. This kit is $70. It's $69.99, so this is fair. Honestly, I don't actually have a problem with these mounts, especially this one has a bit of padding. So I did previously own a kit like this by a company called Neewer, and they basically the same kit almost. However, the build quality was not the same. This is like the painting on this is like looks almost like a powdered finish. Like it's really nice. It's well done. And the mount that they provided me with did not have a padding on the top of the, or on the bottom, I guess, of the top part of this. So the part that sits on the desk, and it actually scraped off a lot of the paint from my desk, which is really annoying. But this one has the padding, and it's got a nice build to it. So let's put it right here. Let's see. We need to unscrew this. It's making a lot of noise, as it does, metal hitting metal, you know. I'll need to open it quite a bit to get it on here. Yeah, all right. Come on, give me more. All right, there we go. And now let's tighten it. Let's see how that works. See how well it tightens. Am I not tightening it? I thought I was. Oh, I was not tightening it. I was loosening it. Okay, so that's clearly going to be a problem. You should definitely know which way is tightening and which way is loosening. All right, so there we go. Nice and tight. Snug fit. It fits well against this desk. Any desk that's going to have just a flat piece like that, it's going to fit well against. It doesn't take up too much space, which is nice. And it's pretty tight. Let's go to the next piece, which will be the arm. So, pretty standard monitor arm. This is essentially the cheap version of a monitor arm. There's three of the of a microphone arm. There's three most popular variants, I believe. One is one of these that uses springs and screws to sort of keep everything in place and be able to move around. And then there's also, so the arm that the Blue Yeti kit comes with. So there's the Blue Yeti broadcaster kit or something like that, and it comes with a, I believe it's a friction-based arm. And while that arm does look better than this, because this has like exposed screws and exposed springs, the problem with that arm, the biggest issue that I had with that arm is the fact that the arm actually doesn't fit in every location. So with arms like these, what's great about them is as long as you can tighten and loosen these nuts, you can, or these screws rather, you can put it in any position you want and it will work as you would expect it to. However, the problem with the friction-based ones is that after a certain amount of tightening, you can't tighten it anymore, and it has a lot of force pulling it back away, and it actually is really, really annoying. I had the issue where my arm, because I have the Blue Yeti broadcast edition, so I have that arm, and I had the issue where the microphone itself wasn't heavy enough to keep the arm at the angle that I wanted it at, and it just kept sort of like rising up over and over again, and that was very annoying and actually made me miss my Neewer arm quite a bit. And so while I don't like the look of these kinds of arms, although this one's actually pretty nice with the black springs and that nice painted finish, the function, if you're looking for function over form, the functionality is way better for these simply because of the fact that they just work a little bit better, you know? Although I do seem to have bent it in such a way where I don't remember how it goes back. Well, let's just put it into let's put it into here. There we go. Okay, so now we can sort of see how it's supposed to go. So this was supposed to go this way, and this was supposed to go this way, There you go. That makes more sense. There you go. We'll loosen that a little bit. There. So as long as you can loosen and tighten these screws as much as you want, you can get to any position that you could feasibly want your arm to be at. Looks like it's kind of tight, but actually it's a good amount of tightness. Like this is actually a pretty high quality, low budget arm. I'm actually pretty impressed with how tight this is. Like I have this completely loose and it's just sitting at whatever angle. That's awesome. I'll have to tighten it once the microphone is actually attached to it, but this is honestly, I'm impressed. I'm impressed with that. All right, let's go to the pop filter. We'll save the best for last. So this is something that I really like about this kit. It comes with a metal pop filter. It's not one of those cheap plastic ones with a plastic circle with the filter on it and it just like attaches with that little stick that doesn't stay in place and it just always falls off. I hate that thing. I don't know why they use those kinds of filters, but this one is a proper metal filter. It looks nice. It looks really nice. It has that same, I don't know who painted these parts, but they're really good. It has the same painting, the same finish as the rest of it, and it's just a better mount, and you don't have to worry about its placement and stuff because it just has one and it sticks to it, which is way better. I might have trouble attaching it though because I've never actually attached one of these. And then finally, we have the star of the show. Oh, okay. We have the star of the show. This is the microphone. It has that same, it looks like a powder finish. It's so nice. I really like the finish. Even the finish on the metal grill that surrounds the actual microphone is really, really nice. It's that same sort of finish. It's just, it just looks so nice, honestly. On the back of it, we have a headphone pass-through so that you can hear yourself, I believe. We'll double check. And then we have a gain control right on the microphone, which you don't get on a lot of microphones, especially at this price point. And then we have a little button here, which I'm not 100% sure what this button is. It might be a mute button, but we will obviously read the user guide and try to figure that out. However, I will say, can you hear that? The build quality is just phenomenal. I really have to give them the thumbs up for the build quality. I'll be honest, I was expecting at $70 for a full kit. Now, if it was just the microphone for $70, I would expect something good. But for the full kit for $70, honestly, like I've had other kits. I know what to expect. And this just kind of blows those other kits out of the water as far as build quality goes. And I'm really impressed with the quality of this button, the quality of this dial. I do wish the dial was bigger. It's kind of small, and it's smaller than the tip of my pinky. It's a pretty small dial. That's definitely a complaint that I have, but it's smooth. It's so smooth, actually. Wow, that's really smooth. It moves really smooth. It has a good amount of resistance to it so that you don't feel like you're gonna accidentally, just jam the knob and push your gain all the way up. So that's a good thing. So let's see if we can put some stuff together, shall we? All right, so the shock mount goes like this. The microphone goes from above or below? I can't remember. It's below. It's like this. The microphone goes like that. So the shock mount on one side has a rubber or a silicone pad, and on the other side does not have a silicone pad. So our shock mount goes like this, I believe. I mean, we'll find out if I'm right or wrong once we look at the actual user guide, which I have not done. And that screws on, and oof, that metal on metal, I actually like the feeling, the feeling and the, oh, this is the wrong way. I like the feeling and the sound of screwing metal into metal. Right there, just like that. And we will tighten that in, nice and tight. There we go. And there it is attached to the shock mount. And then we will attach the shock mount to the... I probably shouldn't have done it this way. I probably should have... Oh, actually, it looks like this part spins, so we can easily spin that into place. Okay, I think I got it. Yep, perfect. So this is actually another thing that's really smart that they thought of, is the fact that there is a tightening screw here for the spin and the angle. So I believe if you tighten it, then it no longer spins. Well, I mean, it'll spin to the left because it'll loosen the, it'll actually loosen the nut. So if you really tighten it, then it won't spin anymore. And that keeps it from spinning and also keeps it from being at a different angle. So the previous arms that I've used, the other arms that I've used in the past, wow, this isn't even tightened and it's like just stiff. That's actually pretty awesome. So the other arms that I've used in the past of this style, this little bar here, and if you can hear my cat, I'm sorry. This little bar here normally is attached like directly to this turning piece and it doesn't spin. Instead, they give you a piece on it that is capable of spinning, and this only adjusts this angle. It doesn't give you the ability to spin. It doesn't do that. So I actually really like this approach because it means that I can sort of get everything together, lock it into a place that I'm comfortable with. So say right around here, yeah, maybe a little bit higher, right around here, and then I can just start screwing things in. So I can take this and I can say, all right, well, I don't need this at any other angle. I don't need this any other angle. And there. Now I've got a nice solid, and the only way it'll turn is here at the base. And if I don't want it to turn at the base, I can just tighten this. And now we've got a very nice, solid, sort of like you really have to put pressure into that to even get it to move. And I can even tighten it more. There you go. Yeah, look at that. And it's a nice solid fit and it just doesn't move. This is something that, for all of the money that I put into microphones, because I've bought a lot of microphones, like I've gone from $40 microphones to $150 microphone kits and to even two almost $300 microphone kits, and every one of them has at least one issue. This one is obviously going to have its own issues as well that I will get into, but for all of the issues that those have, this one so far has not had the same issues as those other ones. It has at least learned in that fashion not to, FIFINE, to their credit, has learned from the mistakes of others and not chosen to, spend money making the arm look super good, but then forget to make it functional, or done things like, making this spinnable like that, where it tightens and it spins. That's really cool. Making sure to include a shock mount. Not all microphone kits will include a shock mount, and some will include a shock mount, and it sucks. The newer kit that I bought, it was, I believe, a $50, almost, maybe $50, maybe $60 kit. It did not include a shock mount for the microphone. Little things like that that you kind of realize, like, hey, guys, like, you might have done this wrong. Like, okay, so I did install the microphone correctly on the shock mount, by the way. Just, just letting you know that I did it right on the first try, but there's, little things like that that are cool, that they actually managed to learn from others. I'm trying to figure out what this button does. I was pretty sure it's a mute button. It is a mute button. All right, so the button below the microphone, below the gain, the volume control is a mute button, and the headphone output on the back actually lets you do monitoring and playback. Oh, that's interesting. Cool. Yeah, cool. All right, so let's get into, actually, let's see if we can attach this this thing. So I want it, I think it's just like this, and I just push. I don't know, I could be doing this completely wrong, and feel free to mock me. Feel free. I would mock you. If you did it wrong, I would mock you. Don't think I wouldn't. I totally would. I think right around there. Just like that. I think that's it. If I did that right, then that was very simple and great, because now I have a pop filter, you know? And it's not one of those crappy ones. All right, so last thing, connection. This is a USB condenser microphone. Unfortunately, it is not an XLR microphone, which at this price you can get XLR microphones, and XLR microphones have their benefits. However, USB microphones also have their own benefits as well. Now, I am noticing that shock mount is really doing the wobble there, huh? But that's fine, because that movement, as long as the shock mount is the one that's absorbing that movement, it's okay if it wobbles a little bit, because if the shock mount is absorbing the movement, then the microphone isn't absorbing it, and you're not going to get that sound. But we'll see how it goes. So this is the cable it comes with. It's got a nice little Velcro strap that's actually part of the cable, which is pretty cool. However, it's twofold here. I both like and hate this cable. There's multiple reasons, and we'll get into them. First of all, I love that this comes with a Velcro strap. Thank you, FIFINE. The Velcro strap is amazing. Please include these in all your cables. And other manufacturers, learn from FIFINE. Put Velcro straps on your cables. The thing I don't like is that this is a USB-B connection right here. USB-B. Now, it's not proprietary. It's USB-B. It's open source. Not proprietary. However, it is USB-B. This is the same connection that a printer uses. And printers don't even come with USB-B cables anymore. So if you lose this cable, you've got to buy a new one, because odds are your printer didn't come with one, if you even have a printer. If you have other, maybe MIDI devices, you know, but that's about it. Like, so USB-B, not really a cable you would find lying around the house, but honestly, it's still way better than micro B. Let's be real here. Like, if it's between B and micro B, I'm gonna choose B most of the time. Not all the time, because like this is pretty big, but in this situation, I'm gonna choose it every time. And then they do an interesting thing. So the cable is nice and thick. It's a very thick cable, actually. It's pretty supple. It feels good. It doesn't feel cheap. It feels pretty premium, especially the tips. This tip has like a nice polished silver finish on the sides, and it does feel good and look good. They did do a good job with that. What's interesting is that they did this. So this is a USB-B connection, so this is probably just like a USB 2.0. Maybe USB 3.0, probably USB 2.0, because it doesn't need a lot of speed, but it goes into USB-A and USB-C. Now, the reason it does this is because it gives you the opportunity to use one or the other. It actually supports, I don't know if they put it in the user guide, but on their website they did say that there was PS4 compatibility, and I believe that's what the USB-A is for. The USB-C is for Mac compatibility, so that you can use it for there, and also just computers with USB-C connections. This one has USB-A and C. So it's cool. It's definitely a cool cable, and it's thoughtful. This is very thoughtful, because at the end of the day, there will be people with laptops or computers that don't have a USB-C connection, or that have a USB-C connection that's being used up by something else. So you might not want a USB-C connection. USB-A might be better for you. But if you have a laptop or one of the new iMacs that just came out that only has USB-C. Wait, does it have USB-C? I think it only has USB-C, right? If you have an iMac, if you have a Mac Pro, something like that, or maybe a laptop, a MacBook, you only have USB-C. If you have a Dell XPS, you only have USB-C. So there are instances where you will need this. So this is incredibly thoughtful and, you know, good job. That's a double thumbs up to FIFINE for just this. That's awesome. However, this could have been USB-C too. I'm just saying it could have been USB-C. There's no reason that this has to be B. Now, to be fair, this is a desktop microphone that is mounted to your desk. How big are the odds that you're going to be plugging it in and plugging it over and over again? Pretty small. You know, gotta be real. You're not gonna be unplugging it very often, so it's not that big a deal. So just like I gave Logitech some, you know, benefit because of the fact that they used micro B on a keyboard, which, you know, you don't unplug very often, and you only use it to charge every once in a while because that's such a long battery life, I have to give the same thing to FIFINE here because it might be B, but you're not going to be unplugging it very often. However, one thing that is missing from this mount is obviously, where are you going to channel these cables, this cable? Where are you going to put it? Like, there's no cable channels on this thing. The blue one, even though it did a terrible job of holding the microphone in place, at least had cable channels. This does not. So I guess the Velcro is going to come into play maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Let's try plugging it in. Okay, not that way. You know what? If this was C, this wouldn't happen. There we go. And we will take this and, I don't know, just put it through here. I usually use like these little pieces over here as like little channels. All right. There's nothing left in the box. Close it. Drop it behind me. And let's go ahead and grab the laptop. And this is annoying. Yeah, this is something you're gonna want to, I recommend definitely investing in. They make a roll of Velcro where one side is the hook and one side is the latch, and it comes in a roll like tape. And you unroll some of it, cut it, and then you have a little bit of Velcro, and it's not very expensive. I definitely recommend getting some of that, not just for this, but just for having around the house. Being able to very quickly make those Velcro loops and manage your cables all around your house is really, really cool. I definitely recommend doing that, and I definitely recommend using it for this instance. If you put this in a position where it's definitely not going to move anymore, like this is going nowhere, then you can get some Velcro and tie it to points here. Oh, I want there, and I want it over here, and over here, and over here, and you can manage this and make it a lot better. Definitely recommended to do that. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Just go buy Velcro. Velcro is awesome. So let's plug this in. I'm gonna go with the USB-A because I can plug it in on the left here. USB-C is on the right on this laptop, so. Okay, now I'm gonna unlock, and what we'll do is double check to make sure that this is on. So right off the bat, I am seeing a green light on the microphone. Now this is supposed to work without any drivers, so we'll see how that goes. And I mean, they also didn't mention anything about Linux in here, so we'll get to see if it works with Linux. I got the gain on about half, and the microphone mute button. Okay, so the light is green when the mic is active, and when you click the mute button, the light turns red. So that's how you know. And let's record some audio, shall we? I'm gonna keep the gain on half, and I'm just gonna speak. I'll move in and out. How about that? I'll move in and out. We'll see how it goes, and I'll play it back, listen to it, and we'll come to some kind of conclusion. Yeah. What was I doing? Right, this video. Okay, let's see if we can find the microphone. So settings. We will close Audacity and then go to sound and input device. Microphone Realtek USB 2.0 audio. Hello. Yeah, that's it. Wow. Yeah, plug and play. It worked with no problem on Linux. It is definitely USB 2.0, and it is which is fine. USB 2.0 can easily handle. USB 2.0 is, I believe, 100 megabit per second for USB 2.0, I think. It might be a little bit more than that. It's somewhere around there. And the bit rate on audio is, even great audio bit rate is still like, in the kilobytes per second. So not going to be a problem with USB 2.0. In fact, being USB 2.0 means that it actually has more compatibility with devices than a USB 3.0 device. You'll have better backwards compatibility. And if you were deciding to use it with virtual machines default to using USB 2.0. You can switch them to USB 3.0, but that's where they default to. So let's keep that there, and we will keep this here. And let's record some audio, shall we? Let's go to Audacity. And we will start recording. How do I know which one? Right, there we go. Oh, sorry, that's not the right one. I chose the wrong device. As I normally do. We'll leave it there. Okay. Let's do it. All right. And a 1 and a 2 and okay. I'm gonna sit here. So I am currently recording about 8 inches away from the microphone, and this is kind of what it sounds like at 8 inches away. I'm gonna actually push it even further away from me. Give it a little, let's loosen this and give it a little spin so that it's at least pointed at me. Okay, so now I'm closer to about, we'll say 10 inches away from the microphone. This is a sort of like safe recording distance where the microphone isn't so close to me that it's obscuring my vision. It's just kind of there in my periphery. I can point my mouth at it and talk to it this way, or I can point my mouth towards you guys and talk to you, and that's what it sounds like. So let's move closer. Loosen this. Wait, which way was it? All right, this way. All right. Okay. Now my mouth is about 4 inches away from the microphone, and I am noticing that I am peaking because I am a loud person and I do peak microphones. That's how that works. Anyway, it's about 4 inches away and I'm peaking. I'm going to go ahead and lower the gain when I do the really close test because this is obviously too much. So let's go ahead and lower the gain there. Okay. Oh, still bad. Okay. All right. Gain is all the way down, and I am still peaking the microphone, even talking as quietly as I am. This microphone is very, very sensitive. So I'm going to move back and, oh, you know what? I put the gain. I put the gain all the way up on accident. I didn't actually lower it because I'm kind of an idiot. Okay, let's actually lower the gain this time. All right. Gain has been lowered.
Okay, so now I am basically as close to the microphone as you can be. You know, just outside of my nose touching the pop filter, and I've got the gain set to uh it's basically perfectly horizontal just above the 0 point, so however much that is, I don't know, like a 2 out of 10. I don't know. I honestly don't know. It's hard to tell, but it's pretty low, and this is what it sounds like. I'm not peaking anymore because I lowered the gain this time. I didn't raise it, and I can tell that it's actually really low now that I'm looking at the bars. So we'll see how this sounds. I'm going to listen to it. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut, uh, or I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna listen to it, and then I will give you a analysis, and we'll come to a conclusion then. So stick around. I will be right back now.
Okay, we're back. Did you notice the microphone on the laptop moved? Yeah. Continuity errors. Anyway, I just got done listening, and you guys have been listening the whole time because I actually played it for you. And honestly, I'm surprised at how good it sounded at the 8 and 10-inch distances. So I was honestly expecting at the 8 and 10-inch distances for it to have a lot more noise. Because USB condenser microphones in general tend to be very sensitive and have just a lot of issues with picking up noises from everywhere, including all kinds of little itty bitty noises that you don't want it to pick up. But I don't know, I thought it sounded really good. And even when I got closer and was had lowered the gain. Obviously, I lowered the gain too much. I noticed that. My bad. But yeah, it actually sounded great, at least in my opinion. If you guys didn't like it, then, you know, let me know in the comments, obviously. But in my opinion, it sounded really good, and it was at a level of quality that I kind of expected from maybe like a low to mid-range XLR mic. So, which is honestly a good thing. Like that's impressive. That's a really good job. They did a good job with this thing. Like, the only issues that I have with it are the cable and the fact that this thing has no cable management, like routing of anything, but those are small things. Like, this can be fixed with a couple dollars. Hell, I can just tape it or something. Like, that's not a big deal. So this is a double thumbs up. Good job, FIFINE. And I'm not just saying that because this video is sponsored by them, you know, because honestly, they didn't actually ask me to say anything good. I could have just said bad things this entire time. Yeah. Think about that. But you know, I sell my soul for $1, so it's not that big a deal. Anyway, good job, FIFINE. Don't tell anyone. Good job, FIFINE. This is actually a really good product. I'm actually kind of curious about seeing their cheaper products, because this is at $70. I'm curious about seeing their cheaper products and seeing how they compare to this thing, because this thing is, the build quality is really good, and the painting quality is really good too. So I would like to see if they put that same amount of effort into their cheaper products. And yeah, you guys let me know if you guys are interested in seeing something like that, or maybe you want to see something even more expensive. I know you guys love seeing expensive stuff, so let me know. Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like, and don't forget to subscribe. Do not forget to subscribe. If you don't subscribe, I won't like you anymore. If you're already subscribed, that's great. I like you. You're good. You're good. You're good to me. You're good to me, okay? Anyway, have a good night, have a good week, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.